Alright, so this is Companionway door installation. This is the part where I do Companionway doors, and I'm insetting the hinges. So, kind of like a odd little video, if it can be seen in the video, I'm not really sure. All I'm just trying to do is just to inset it so that the edges are flush, and it seems to have come out flush, more or less. You have to go just a little bit deeper. Yeah. It'll take a little bit more. Dead flat, so yeah, that's pretty good. Now it's like, it can be difficult to see this from like a side view, but you take this in here and you can see from the top, maybe you can see slightly, maybe not, but it comes in diagonal. You want it to be dead flat, so it comes out flat that way, diagonal when it's fully set. So I need to take out a little bit more from the back here, just from this area. Definitely level now. Definitely level. Yeah, it's level. And it's flush. This one, on the other hand, is level and it's flush. However, it's like, you can see it from this door, that it's actually a higher space. Even when it's flat, it's a higher space than just the thickness of the metal of the hinge itself. So on this one, I've got to go about 1/16 of an inch lower into the wood. Welcome to T-Plex Products. It's actually a pretty fun business. I don't play this music. Oh, I don't mind the music. I actually kind of like this music. But it's the neighbor. The neighbor plays this music, if it can be heard. I have to take a video. Something that has to be done.
Why don't you try sanding that first?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Just need to get the water stains out.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've done... This is not varnish. This is polyester resin. I find that polyester resin is a better choice because varnish kind of encapsulates things, yeah, but you have to keep sort of doing the varnish over and over. Whereas polyester resin really settles into the wood and you don't have to redo it. And if you do, it's exactly the same as varnish. You just sand it, but it doesn't get flaky. You just sand it and then recoat it again with polyester resin. So, unfortunately, there's a little piece of the hair of the bristle brush. A very sad situation. But I'll have to do maybe another coat or two, and then they should be good. But like I said, the construction of these doors, putting the wood together, is not going to be a part of this video because my dad made these doors. They were a time-consuming type of thing, and my dad had a lot of time. Since he's retired, he's got a lot of time left. A lot of time left over from working. He still does work, but he's mostly retired. So considering that, he did this project, he did these doors, put them together. We just used like scrap wood that was lying around to make them, so they've still got some like watermarks in them. I tried to get the watermarks out, but it's not really too important, considering that it's my boat, and I really don't care. I just like some strong doors. I really don't care how they look completely. But they do have to be functional, and they do have to be sort of sealed from water because the water will sort of make them puff up and then the doors won't close right, so they have to be encapsulated in resin. So even though it looks nice, it's really not for that. It's just to keep the doors solid and in working condition. So yeah, I was in Mexico for quite a few months, and over that time period my dad put these doors together, and now we're fitting them, and they should be really great. They should come out really nice. So I'll get that as part of the video when they finally become installed, and yeah, we'll have a look at that afterwards. Alright, so in this video, small video, not super important video, I'm just gonna like, it's just a small thing. It's like these cabinet doors. I removed the drawers out of the Triton and I put cabinet doors in, and well, teak is a very oily wood, and you can just leave teak the way that it is, really. You don't have to put any kind of finish on teak or anything like that, but I want it to look nice to some degree. I also don't want it to turn gray, which teak actually tends to turn gray over time. So I'm just going to sort of polyester. I'm not going to varnish. Which is kind of strange. You heard that saying, I'm going to polyester? Yeah, I'm going to polyester resin these. I'm not going to varnish them. A little bit of teak oil coming out. It's actually not dust. It actually is teak oil. So get another good douse there. Yeah, this one's not as oily. This one's from Indonesia. That one's from Burma. The Burmese teak always has a higher content of oil, though it is the same genetic of wood. They have different teak genetics. They have different teak trees, different types of genetics to them. And these two are different. You can probably see this. I'll hold them up. Maybe you can get a good view at them. This one's darker, this one's lighter. This one has more oil, more of a beautiful wood. This one's kind of an orange color. That's how I can tell. One's orange-ish, one's darker. One's from Burma, specifically. One's from Indonesia. Indonesian teak is not very nice. I mean, it can be nice. It really depends on where you get it from. Depends on what piece of wood you get. But it's not going to be nearly as nice as Burmese teak. There's no way. Burmese teak is special. Alright, so I'm using Total Boat polyester resin. Now, it doesn't really matter specifically what brand that you use. You just want to use the laminating resin. You don't want to use the finishing resin. Finishing resin has wax in it. If you want to redo your resin coat, if you want to make it nice afterwards, put a second coat on or something like that, you don't want to use finishing resin. You want to use laminating resin. The reason for that is that finishing resin has wax coat that comes to the surface in the drying process. And there we go. Well, this is one of them at least. I have hardener all over the shed. Little bottles of hardener here and there and wherever. So I poured a very small amount. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually not very much. Since it's cold here, I put about 14 drops in because it is cold here. And then I'm going to put a little bit of acetone in it. Why am I putting acetone in my polyester resin? Well, anybody who uses polyester resin will probably know this. Probably going to know why. And I don't put very much in. Probably about a bottle cap's worth for this amount of polyester resin. Very important. When you're using it to laminate wood. I'm just going to stir that up pretty good. Make sure all the thickness is equalized. If you don't put acetone into it, specifically on a wood like teak, teak has a lot of oil in it. You use rosewood or mahogany or maybe pine or cedar or something like that. It's very porous. Polyester resin will seep into the pores. But with teak, because it's a very oily wood, it doesn't seep into the pores. It kind of gets blocked by the oil. So I put a bit of acetone in it to thin it down, make it more watery. And then, well, and it blocks out everything. Polyester resin, once it's finished drying, it seems to block out everything. Insects, sun, water damage, water stains. It's like varnish. It's not like water stopper, it's different. I'm not sure how hard water stopper gets, but you can make a baton out of a piece of maple with polyester resin, I'm pretty sure. You could probably make a baton out of a piece of balsa wood with polyester resin. Alright, well, I tried to get out the darkening from the router, the burn spots. I was pretty sure I got most of them out. I guess I didn't, because when this comes out, it comes out a bit darker, and now they're showing, and that's sad. But you know what? It's my boat, and I'm not really too much of a stickler for quality like that. But you can see the bubbles and the light shine there. This is not like varnish. These bubbles, if you leave them in the cold dry, they go away. Varnish, it doesn't. But polyester resin, it does. So yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. Maybe the light is on. You can see the doors now. The doors pretty much finished. They're looking good. That's it's complicated. That is a backing plate type thing. It's not a backing plate. It's a support. It's like a stringer. It's like a stringer that goes next to the old stringer so that I can bolt them together and put a backing plate on it. It's complicated. That's something different. I'm encapsulating it because it's rosewood. It was the only wood that I could find lying around here that was big enough, and it's rosewood, and so it will rot. So I polyester laminated it as well. Laminated it, but yeah, that's a different thing, different video, different project. So yeah, woo. Right, so I'm not finished inside the boat just yet. I'm very close to being finished. Magnificent color of the wood. Yeah, magnificent. These doors, they're almost finished. They're coming close. Not quite there yet though. Almost done. Yeah, so inside the boat, not done. Almost done, but not done yet. And non-skid, finished. Oh no, I messed up right there. No. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it did pretty much a good job. Though it was really difficult in this crevice. So, yeah, I think it looks good. Yep. I think it looks okay. There's some minor spots that came out bad. I think like that spot right at the tip sort of peeled the paint away, and it did the same thing around the wind vent, peeled the paint away a little bit.